spark. Green monster rising, shadows tall. Home of the dreams where legends fall. Red Sox Digest. Feel the heat, feel the flame. Red Sox Digest. Chasing glory, chasing fame. Red Sox Digest. This is the heartbeat of the game. Echoes of the past run through the ground. Ted and yells, their spirits resound. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd. Boston's
Throw that in there subtly.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome into Red Sox Digest Live. Jace Andrews alongside Houston Kellman. If you can tell, I just gave Houston some information that he did not know ever before. We'll bring it up later on the stream, but appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Today kind of feels like the first day that baseball is officially back. We got the WBC teams in their exhibition. I'm watching like 5 games on my screen at once. The Red Sox play Puerto Rico tonight. Is that
Yes.
Puerto Rico? Okay. I was like, I
so.
wanted to make sure it was Puerto Rico. That's a 6 p.m. Eastern first pitch, so be excited for that. Kristian Campbell hitting leadoff, a guy we'll talk about today. But I'm just excited watching the Giants and USA to my right over here. I know Houston's got it on over there as well, but just excited to have baseball back. Excited that spring training is like now just a back burner. Like obviously we're going to talk about some stuff, but we get to watch WBC for the next 2 weeks. Then as soon as that's over, we're talking regular season right around the corner. But well, I think let's start off with this, Houston. We've had a week since the last stream. What do you think is the most important thing that has happened and gone down? We've obviously will have some topics to go through, but what from a week ago to now, what's kind of the most important thing you've seen from the Red Sox or heard?
There's a few things I want to say here, and there's a few of them I'm not going to because we're going to get to it in just a moment. But it's something we talked about in the last week's episode. He is so back.
He's so back.
He's so back. And I'd be terrified if I wasn't a Red Sox fan or supporter. Jarren Duran and his huge leg kick are so back, and he's going to win the MVP this year. Like, let's get out of pocket.
Roman's number 1, Jarren's. Hey, if you want to hear the rankings from MLB, Jarren Duran's the number 1 left fielder in all of Major League Baseball, and Roman Anthony's number 2, according to the rankings.
And I didn't even write that. I didn't, and I would have. Jarren, you brought up the video. You had that great video where it showed all 3 versions of Jarren Duran's swing, and we saw a little bit of it. We saw a little glimpse. We got a little taste of it in like the first 3 to 5 games that he participated in, actually played in. And he was swinging the bat well. It wasn't like, oh my God, he's Aaron Judge, but he was swinging it well. He was making hard contact. He was barreling baseballs, and he was hitting for power against lefties, against righties. It didn't matter. And we had that conversation in the following 2 to 3 games. Jarren hit 3 home runs in 2 games. 2 of them, I believe, of the 3 were against left-handed pitching. He looks so good right now. The power in the bat is so real, and I couldn't be more excited. Rosenthal, I don't want to go off track here and get into something else, but Rosenthal is viral all over Twitter right now, through Red Sox Twitter at least, because he's proposing the idea of Duran and Paredes again. He's like, well, Duran still fits, Paredes still fits in Boston. Like, it still could work. They both need to check off boxes. If they move Duran, that opens up a spot for Yoshida. Those are his words, not mine. And I'm just no shot. No shot. Not with the version of Duran we currently see, because yes, we want him hot going into October, obviously, but for someone who regressed as much as they did last year, especially in those big moments, Duran looks really, really good.
I think what's funny about it, though, is like everybody talks about how much of a downgrade last season was for Jarren as opposed to his year prior. And yes, that's true to an extent, but we're talking about going from an MVP year to a above average year. And now he's back to the MVP year. Like, for all the trade rumors we had about Jarren Duran last year and him having a 4.55 WAR, everybody was criticizing the Red Sox for them basically saying that Jarren Duran is worth an MVP caliber player in the offseason and that they were going to have to trade that way. Well, guess what? I think they were right to put that out there because people were criticizing, but it's right. It's right. he is an MVP caliber player. And for the Red Sox to trade him, they needed somebody worth that value, and they're not going to get him. And the one thing that I see is that Jarren Duran can stay, and maybe he doesn't perform as well because, again, spring training is spring training, but he plays for Team Mexico today, and he's leading off, so we're going to get to see some more of him against some more familiar pitchers. And, of course, we'll see some intriguing matchups when we get into actually, past the pool play as well, which I expect Mexico to make it past there. So really excited to see that. But, yeah, Jarren is he's letting the cover off the ball. I mean, every time a spring training game was on, we're always messaging back and forth. Yeah, Duran. It's so obvious. Every time are you watching Duran? You watching Duran? Yep. He did it again. So it's just super nice to just have that back in your back pocket and kind of understand what he means to this team. I think he also can be a big leader alongside Story. I think that was an underlooked value last year that they just gave to Alex Bregman. And yes, that's true. I think they also got a lot of leadership for Jarren Duran. So excited to see that. But kind of going into the stuff that we were going to talk about in today's show, kind of got a little bit of a rundown for you. We'll kind of break it down. We'll talk about a new top prospect potentially in the Red Sox system. If you've been following the Red Sox, you've heard this name before. There's a trade potential that we're going to talk about with Masataka Yoshida. Some updates on Early and Tolley, Kristian Campbell, and of course with the WBC starting today, we thought it'd be nice to kind of take a look at the Red Sox players, where they're playing, when they're playing, how to watch them, all that stuff. Players to watch. But I know Houston, you're going to have a video out on this in the coming days. But what about this new top prospect that is? I mean, he's been hitting the ball really hard since we saw him last year, but he's gotten even better and bigger this year. He put on 45-plus pounds. Tell us what you got on Justin Gonzalez.
The guy, if you guys haven't seen him, he's a freak. Everyone's talking about Spencer Jones and because he looks like Aaron Judge because he's 6'7". Justin Gonzalez is 6'7", and he put on 40. What is he? 260. He's huge.
He's 265 now because he was I think he was 220, and he put on 45 pounds this offseason.
He's 6'7", 265. He plays baseball. No, he is not a tight end. He is not a linebacker in the NFL. He is a baseball player. And yes, he can hit the ball a lot better than you normally expect someone that size. And when it comes to contact, no, I'm not saying he's going to win a batting title in the next 2 years, but he does have the ability to not only hit for power, which seems obvious with his physique and body size, but also make good contact. Don't throw away at bats. And he is still extremely young. He has a lot to go out there and learn and gain experience doing. And I think it's going to be a joy to watch him in this Red Sox farm system that we've been so accustomed to over the last 2, 3, 4 years because of the amount of talent coming out of that farm system. Things have gotten obviously great with Roman, Marcelo, Tolley, Early, all of their Kristian Campbell, all of these guys who have been so good and we have now found on the major league level. There's still a lot of talent, a lot of really good talent still down in that farm system, like Kyson Witherspoon and various others. Justin Gonzalez is one of those guys who may not be in the top 3 or top 4 or 5 rankings in that farm system for the Red Sox now, but you give it a little bit of time where he's able to gain these at-bats down in the minor leagues, regardless of the level, if it's single, double, or even triple A. We're going to see fireworks off of his bat, and if he can stay healthy, it's going to be a lot of fun in Boston.
I mean,
for a long
hits
time
the ball
because he is so young.
Exactly. He's 19 years old. Last year he was 18 and had a 108-mile-per-hour exit velo, 420 home run with his first one in affiliate ball. He lights the cover off the ball, and he put on supposedly 45 pounds. Here's the metrics. 6'7", 277.
277, that's what it was, yeah.
Alex Cora said
monster.
Alex Cora said this. Monster. Look at him. He's only 19. Lucky for him, he's playing baseball. He was born in the Dominican. If not, he'd be playing tight end for somebody, which is exactly kind of what you just said. It's crazy that I mean, these are going to be more and more likely as we go further and further into just life, I think. There's going to be bigger guys. Yeah. But for Justin Gonzalez, he really could be the next top prospect. And I think as of right now, he's ranked number 7 on Baseball America's top 100 Red Sox prospects. Okay, here's the 10. And again, this was a while back. It might have changed. But Tolley's 1, Arias is 2, Conley is 3, which again, it's hard because Conley and Tolley could or could not be in the Major League roster. Kyson Witherspoon is 4. Obviously, this guy's not here anymore. Luis Perales was 5. The password was 6. He's gone. Juan Valera is 7, and Justin Gonzalez is 8. So by process of elimination, he should be 5 at this point, just off the trades we have made. Oh, homer. Roman with the homer.
No doubter.
And people were worried about him.
Kid's 21, by the way. Or 22.
He's going to be my fantasy baseball team for the next 20 years.
101 off the bat. 394.
Homer for Roman. Okay, by the way, let's get into some question here. Switch S27 says, DH Press Show, should be back. Should be talking about Braden Ward. Braden Ward is an interesting guy. It's the guy we got back. I believe that's the one we got in a Bernardino trade with the Colorado Rockies. Been playing well. I think with the injury to Brendan Rodgers, there's a little bit more of a chance for Braden Ward to get in there. But for Justin Gonzalez, really am excited to see what he's able to do. Roman homer, that's sick. That's so on stream is crazy. Awesome. But yeah, I'm super excited to see what Justin Gonzalez can get through. This will he'll be starting in high A, I believe is where it's going to be when he starts the minor league season this year. That's where he ended off last year. I don't think they would move him anywhere from that, but that's kind of a good thing to see. So any final thoughts on Gonzalez before we move on to our next?
Yeah, you pulled up the graphic there for a second. He had a hit yesterday or 2 days ago, 117 miles per hour off the bat. It was only a single. The ability to barrel
was only
baseball.
A single. He's gonna kill somebody.
I wouldn't have, as even a left fielder. I believe it went to left field. As a left fielder, I don't even. Why would you even want to get in front of that? No. I know it's traveled so far already, but it's moving, dude.
What's funny is obviously I know Section 10 is a very polarizing podcast. People have likes and hates about it. I'm not trying to get into that, but I listen to them all the time. And what's funny is they were talking about what's going to happen in a scrimmage game. You think Caleb Durbin at 5'7" at third base has a 117 mile an hour ball coming at him? It's going to take his head off. Like, it's going to kill Caleb Durbin. Justin Gonzalez is just going to take out his competition ahead of him by killing them.
Oh, man.
So, it's crazy.
It'll leave a mark. If 117 catches you, it'll leave a mark.
Yeah, that's worse than a fastball hitting you. But, yeah, I'm excited to see. Obviously, we'll keep a track of him as it goes. I think likely expectations for him to get to Double-A is there this year, being 19 years old.
Yes.
Jumped from Low A to High A last year in his first year of affiliate ball. I think getting to Double-A is the goal this year. If you can get to Double-A this year, then that should put him on track to make him make his MLB debut start of 2028, September call-ups 2027. Like that puts him at 20 years old. I mean, we're talking another Roman potentially. And obviously, different situation. Oh, that one's back. It's coming in. Terang almost hit one. But yeah, it's if just Campbell can figure out a way to work himself out, Marcelo can work it out, and then we get these prospects behind him, Franklin Arias and Justin Gonzalez. Like, the Red Sox are in a very good spot. Like, I know we gave up some prospects this year for trades with Sonny Gray and Wilson Contreras, but we still have a dang good farm system. Like, a really, really good farm system. And, I guess one time he gets credit. Thanks, Chaim Bloom. Appreciate you. Appreciate you for doing that. Appreciate you. Moving on. Okay, so talked about Justin Gonzalez. Why don't we go straight to the potential trade talk? So I'll have a video coming out on this later, but Masataka Yoshida is going to light the world up in the WBC. Like, I think he's going to do some amazing things. I mean, let's just go back. I have the video stats, so I have it here. Last time Masataka Yoshida played in the WBC, these were his stats. 474, 571, 842, 9 for 19 in 6 games, 2 homers, 1 double, 13 ribbies, which was a Team Japan all-time record, by the way. Didn't get talked about. Did not strike out a single time and walk 3 times. If this guy does anything like that, surely somebody will want him at that point. Surely, right?
You would have to think, right?
I don't get it, but I think there is one team that actually could want him, and that's due to some major MLB news that we had today. Jurickson Profar is facing a 162-game suspension after testing positive for a PED for the second time. Don't know what Buddy thought. Hey, they tested me last year. That means they're not going to do that this year. Whatever. The MLBPA is apparently appealing it. I don't know what they can do unless it was like a drug that was used for a different reason. Like, Fernando Tatis taking his PED for tapeworms. normal things that happen in the MLB and the way they try and change this up. But with that being said, I think a legitimate possibility is for Masataka Yoshida to potentially be traded to the Atlanta Braves. Now, in terms of Atlanta Braves money, they're at about $15 million on a luxury tax. They were going to be costing more with Jurickson Profar because he was a little bit over. He was at $15 million, and I put him a little bit over the luxury tax, so they were paying, in theory, $18 million. The contract for Masataka Yoshida over the next 2 years is $18.6 each year. If the Red Sox, let's in theory say, we'll take $4 million of that contract on for this year and say $7 million on next year, you change what you are paying him in terms of over $30+ million to paying him $11 million for the next 2 years and getting him off your team. Not having to worry about that, not having to for Craig Breslow, you take off the financial burden. And Profar was the DH, but they also don't really have a great outfield because besides who's Ronald? Besides Ronald and their other guy, I'm pulling up the roster now. Ronald and Michael Harris, that's what it is. Michael Harris. You have Eli White and Mike Yastrzemski. So formidable, but not great. Masa can be an everyday DH and potentially play in left field at times as well. I mean, heck, the Braves put in Marcelo Ozuna in left field. Masa can't be that much worse. Like, he might get run over by Michael Harris, but he was doing that with Jarren Duran, so it doesn't really change much. But I'm kind of curious for your thoughts on this. What's the end goal for Masataka Yoshida now at this point for the Boston Red Sox? Because it seems like they keep trying to hold on to him, and there's positives. Like he had, Tyler Milliken had the tweet. His first game with Japan had a 108 exit velo homer that was 415 in the upper deck and the Japan Dome or Tokyo Dome. That can be there, but I just don't see him playing consistent with the Red Sox.
I agree. I first of all love the trade idea. If the Braves can be a suitor. It seems like, obviously, with Profar now going out, when I read 162 game suspension, I laughed a little bit. It's just just say the season. Just say the season. It's like
he also can't play in the postseason with a suspension, so it's like he's going to be on the entire year.
Yeah, you don't got to sugarcoat it. Just say it how it is. But the Braves definitely open up as a possible suitor. I like that. He won't be in division, so if he does turn into Superman, we won't have to see him as many times, which is great. But just the idea of getting him off of this Red Sox team is very intriguing, regardless of the suitor. And the reason being is for the reasons you've already pointed out for the most part, and things we've talked about ad nauseum, either on this channel in videos or in the sense of these live streams. Yoshida has a good bat. I'm not going to say he has a great bat, but he has a good bat. His ability to pull the ball to right field as a left-handed hitter and get it down into that corner. We see him do it all the time. His first hit of this spring training was a ground rule double. His first hit last regular season, I believe, was a ground rule double. Like, no joke. He has that ability to just yank it down the line, and it works out really well for him, especially for someone who doesn't have great speed. But the conversation is, what position is he going to play? Is he going to play in the outfield? Well, we all know the easy answer to that. Absolutely not, because right, center, and left are filled every day of the week. And when you do have to platoon or make a substitution, you're never going to put Masa in for defensive reasoning. Yes, if you need a lefty-righty matchup and Masa's sitting on the bench, and that's something you can go to, yes, that's a check mark. Not going to argue against that. But when it comes down to it, you have Wilyer, you have Jarren, you have Roman, you have Cedon. Those are 4 starting outfielders every day of the week. And we know Roman and Wilyer both are probably going to get reps at DH when the time is required and when that is going to be brought upon. And that's going to be normal, obviously, because you're not going to ask them to field every single day of the year when they put the cleats on. But at the price that Masa is going to demand and the overall value he actually maintains, yes, it's decently expensive, without a doubt, especially for someone who's not going to give you as much pop as you're looking for. But we do know it's there to some extent. We do know that he has the ability to swing a good bat in the sense of average. He should maintain a little bit more value than it seems like really it's been shown. Like over the last, 2 off seasons, this off season we're just exiting, and then the off season prior, it feels like Masa's been somewhat on the trade market. It's not a fire sale by any means. He's not been cut from the Red Sox organization, but they understand where they're sitting. There is an ample amount of depth on this Red Sox team, specifically in the outfield, and players like Wilson when he's not playing first base to DH, Roman when he's not in the field, Wilyer when he's not in the field to then DH. It's just, where is he going to play? He's never going to be able to find his footing. He's never going to be able to be like, well, I played like a week's worth of games. No, he's going to be filling in moments where he has to due to injury or other quick moments that are just on the fly. He's not going to be an everyday starter because of the defensive liabilities we know he has and have witnessed. And it's for someone to play the outfield, you have to have a shoulder attached to your throwing arm, and that's something Masa doesn't have. Like it seriously, like
there's an arm, there's no shoulder.
There's literally no shoulder. Like what was it? Not even a week ago, or maybe a week ago, the ball hit the left field. He was in left. They have their version of the monster in Fort Myers, and Cedon comes over, and the ball came down because Masa wasn't quick enough to get to it. It was kind of awkward looking for a second because it was kind of like, are you getting it? Am I getting it? And it kind of felt like Masa was like, please pick it up because if I have to throw this to the cutoff, it's not going to get there. And like, it's not going to work. So I love the idea of him getting traded, especially to the Braves.
Yeah, it makes sense for the team that is looking for an outfielder after a season-long suspension for Jurickson Profar. Like, they need a DH. They need a guy who can, in every now and then sense, play a left field position for them. It to me is the Red Sox, though, because we can say that there's been no market, but we both know that last year there was a package for Tristan Casas and Masataka Yoshida to go out and get a pitcher from Seattle. That was heavily reported upon. And right now, Craig Breslow looks like an idiot. He looks like an idiot, which he's done that before, so no surprise there. And Rafael Devers is not playing against freaking Team USA right now, not Team Puerto Rico. But it's, I think, a point being that I have my doubts about the Red Sox saying they're willing to trade him, because we get those reports, and then we get a report as soon as spring training starts that, oh, we kind of like him. We want this and this from him. Like, I hate to say it, but Craig Breslow has had no problem cutting people from the Chaim Bloom regime before. Why is it different with Masataka? Why is the situation different? I don't understand what the reasoning is behind it. At this point, if he is not going to play, what is the reason of having him on the roster? What is the reason of not offering him up? And at this point, a salary dump. We're willing to salary dump Rafael Devers, but not Masataka Yoshida. Like, it makes no sense to me. And so I just continue to ask the question of, like, if there is really no market for him, then why have we not gone up to people and say, hey, we'll pay $4 million of his salary this year if you take him? Like, you give us cash considerations, we'll give you him. Like, we'll figure it out.
It's something we've seen the Red Sox be a beneficiary from all offseason. Like, the major moves they made, Sonny Gray came with $20 million. Wilson Contreras came with $8 million. Like, they are very, very, very aware that's something that is an option if you do need to move him. And I will say, just to play devil's advocate to what we've been saying and what you just said specifically, like, why wouldn't Breslow do it? Like, what are we waiting for? Just let's get it done. It's the numbers you brought up earlier. It's what we saw from Yoshida in the last WBC, where he was Barry Bonds. Like, he hit 437.
Masa muscles. What do you mean, man?
Yeah, like perfect running form Masa. Like, that's just the way it is. And he's beloved to some extent, in the sense that he doesn't create any drama. He's there. He smiles. He does his job to the best of his ability. And like,
everybody likes him.
Yeah, he doesn't give you a reason not to enjoy him in any way outside of when he doesn't perform and he can't throw the ball as an outfielder. Like, those
or the
things
Red Sox view of him when they don't play him. Like, that's the bigger thing to me, is the Red Sox will not play him. Like, he was healthy last year, and yeah, I mean, heck, 2 years ago we had that homer in New York that everybody was like, okay, yeah, Moss is back, and then we never saw him again.
They're sitting in a tough spot. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say their job is the easiest thing in the world, but when you look at your depth chart, especially now, and you can see that outfield in the way it's currently constructed, and then you have the infield depth and flexibility with Durbin, Meyer. Obviously, when Romy comes back, Romy's going to have a lot of flexibility. Like, there is a lot of versatility on this team, on this Red Sox team. You know he's not going to find a lot of playing time. You know it for a fact. And if you think you're going to use him as a platoon bat at $18.6 million a year, that's a very, very expensive platoon bat. And it's really tough. They even consider why he's still on this team.
Yeah, I really, it gets just harder and harder every season. And At this point, what if he does not play until July? You have to cut him if there's no trade. Because you're at that point, you're only giving up, say, a salary of half the season this year and a salary of next year. You're saying we're going to bite the bullet about $24 million. If you were not going to play him, just buy it out. Pay it out right now while there's no whatever the new contract is next year between the Players Association and the MLB. Like there could be contract and I don't want to say, but salary restrictions that I don't want to get into with Masataka Yoshida getting paid $18.6 million. So now the likelihood of things like that actually being effect to the Red Sox, probably slim to none. I think they're going to up the luxury tax and that'll be it. I don't think they're going to put a salary cap, but besides the point, it's just not worth it to continue to pay them. And I think that's really all that needs to be put on the table there. But past Masataka Yoshida, we also got some reports out of spring training on both Conley Early and Peyton Tolley. I think both of us would like to have them on the Major League roster opening up. I think if it was my choice, I would run a 6-man rotation. That way you can have Oviedo and you can have Conley Early as your rotational guys. And then you can put Tolley in the bullpen. It just makes sense for Tolley to be there. But we got this report from Chris Castillo saying that the organization feels that both, despite flashes of brilliance in the big leagues down the stretch, could use some more minor league seasoning too. That factor, plus the service time considerations at play, make it clear that the preferred path is both pitching out of the Woo Sox rotation once late March rolls around. I saw some tweets and some opinions on this saying, let's not get this any more distorted than we have to. This is because of service time. It's not because they're not ready. It's not because of this or that. It is a service time issue, and that the Red Sox are trying to, quote-unquote, manipulate service time. I'm in between there. I don't know if that's the full thought because they traded for Oviedo. They want to try and use him. So I understand him getting that fifth slot over Conley Early. Not going to back away or shy away from that. And if it doesn't work out within 2 weeks, I'd rather bring Conley Early up at that point than start Conley Early. It doesn't work well, and then you put Oviedo in. That kind of breaks a little bit of his confidence rather than, hey, you're our next guy. You're our 6-man. We're going to pop up here. And we're going to trust you at that point, and we'll go from there. For Peyton Tolley, I mean, we all saw the presentation he did for the WBC guys in America. He is America's most beloved ball player. I don't think there's any discussion. He needs to be on the Red Sox roster, and he should be in the bullpen day one. I truly don't see why they wouldn't use him in the bullpen. He can be a long relief option. You had that with Richard Fitz, Sean Newcomb, Hunter Dobbins, all throughout last year. Guess what? You don't have to change it this year. You put one guy in, that's his role for the entire year, and it's Peyton Tolley. And you get valuable MLB experience where he's not going to be sitting on the bench. And then next year, if the decision is to put him back in the rotation, or if that's the decision somewhere down the line this season, I think he's in a better situation than he is if he's in the minor league starting and then just comes up and has to face MLB level talent again. So obviously, Houston, I'm curious if you think this is a service time type consideration, if that should be considered, or if you strictly think that it's just business saying, hey, they look good. We saw what happened to Tolley once he did move to the bullpen. Wasn't a great look for him. And as for Conley, he looks good. He could be the best number 5 starter in the MLB, but do we want to rush it when we can put him in the minor leagues knowing we have Oviedo?
Early should be in the starting rotation on opening day. No argument. If you want to pitch the idea that Tolley should either... if you want to pitch the idea that Tolley should start down in the minor leagues this year, I wouldn't push back. If you said that for Early, I would say it's craziness. He should absolutely be in the starting rotation. I don't care if he's 3, 4, 5, or even 6. If you want to run that, I'm so serious. This kid, it looked so good. He looked so good in the biggest moments, even though it was like, hey, you know how to pitch?
Yeah, it wasn't his fault in Game 3. It was errors.
.66 whip. It's insane. He was so good. He was so good. And we saw it in spring training. He was very good in his last start. I believe he went 2, maybe 3 innings, and I think he gave up 1 run or maybe 2 runs on a double down to the left field wall. But he was good. I'm not going to say he was great by any means, but he was definitely good. And it's still spring. Give the kid some time. Let him go out there. Let him work on his stuff and allow him to be a starter. Now, Tolley, on the other hand, The reason I'm so confident and early and believe he should be one of the top guys in that starting rotation for the Sox this year is because he has the off-speed stuff. Not only does he have the 97, 98 mile per hour fastball slash sinker, either one he would like to throw, but also he has the sweeper, he has the slider, he has the breaking stuff that he can pair along with the fastball in the sinker, and it works out really, really well, and he has more control and more movement to those pitches in comparison to someone like Peyton Tolley. Now, Peyton Tolley, I absolutely love. He is America's favorite ball player. I 100% agree. He reminds me so much of Don Fry if he was 22 years old. But he should be part of the Red Sox organization for the next 100 years. Like, I'm so serious. He's a staple, and he's just himself, and that's the best part about it. And he's a damn good pitcher, especially when his adrenaline is through the roof, like we saw in his first start in the wild card. Like, he was throwing like 100, 101. He was like, "You guys see the radar? You guys see the
You look at that?
Oh my
You
God.
look at that?
You guys see it? Someone take
You
a
like
picture.
that, don't
Someone
you?
take a
You like
picture.
that.
Yeah, it's so good. But his problem is the changeup. The off speed stuff for Tolley is not nearly as good as someone like Conley early, and that's something we have to see with the development, with the experience that he's going to gain. Thank God he's in the Red Sox pitching rotation, or involved with the Red Sox organization, where they have an elite pitching staff, and they can turn him into a problem going forward. We saw it with Crochet. They traded for him. He had made a major league start. Crochet's the number 2 guy in the Cy Young in the AL. Like, this is something that, hey, Tolley, you might be a bullpen arm right now, but if we can add 1, 2 little pieces to that arsenal, or just improve the pieces that you currently have, starting is going to just, like, a number 4, number 5 guy will just be the bottom line, if you will, because he's going to have as much potential as someone like Conley early, because he has the fastball velo, he has the left-hand delivery, or left arm delivery, and not really a normal arm slot in that sense. He's more of that near 3/4 slot as a lefty, and it's great. It obviously plays, and if he can just wrap up that changeup specifically, I think we could see we could see Tolley really make some leaps and bounds here. But don't be surprised if he starts in the minor leagues. It wouldn't be crazy to say the absolute least, but early should absolutely be in the starting rotation. He is complete, and he has all the things you need.
Yeah, I think the one reason why I look at Tolley as an option in the bullpen is just because he is a lefty, and that is something that the Red Sox are looking for right now. Like, Giovanni Moran is going to work out. That'll be your secondary lefty, but then you're not going to pitch Aroldis Chapman in a lefty spot earlier than the 8th inning. Like, that's just not how it's going to work. So in that situation, I have to look at the Red Sox and say, do I understand that, he doesn't have a pitch past his four seam that he throws more than 13% of the time? Yeah, for sure. But like you said, work on that changeup. And if it can get to a place at spring training, I think my bigger thing is don't rule him out right now. Because if he can, spring training is built for this. In fact, I would tell Peyton Tolley, you get to throw 3 fastballs per at-bat. Or even 2. You get 2 fastballs per at-bat. And obviously you don't tell anybody else that, but you go with that and say, hey, you get 2 fastballs per at-bat, and you got to use your other pitches to work around that pit with it. I want to see the cutter. Like, that's also a fastball type, so you can use that. That's fine. But I want to see that slider. I want to see that change. I want to see that curve. And to me, there's one of 2 ways that Tolley can work around this. Because right now against righties, he throws the fastball 64% of the time. Against lefties, it's 63% of the time. The only time that he throws a pitch more than 15% past that is his slider against lefty, which is at 30%, because it's going to slide right into him. Away from him. And so it's going to work out perfectly in that sense. What I look at for Tolley is, okay, can we use that curve in the same manner just against righties? Yeah. Because it's going to come in from a weird arm slot, or a normal arm slot, but for a lefty versus a righty, you're going to see it late. So you're going to have to recognize it early, and his pitches out of the hand all look like fastballs. But somehow they're just laid off of, and that's MLB caliber players, and that's what it is. But I agree to an extent. I think Early deserves to be in the starting rotation. I am fine if they want to give Oviedo that time, then run a 6-man. Like, what's the big deal with that? I don't think there's a problem with that. Obviously, then you're not getting Garrett Crochet as much, but you've built this team off having a very good rotation. And saving the rotation as much as possible, because that's what's going to win you games down the stretch early on, seems like a pretty good idea to me. Now, for The service time, I think that there is obviously some thoughts about that, and I think that is a potential, but they obviously didn't care about service time with Roman. I mean, they did that in such a weird manner last year. So I don't think that's going to be something they worry about.
Week.
Exactly. I don't think that's something they're going to worry about with Conley. Now, does that mean that they could not worry about it, or could worry about it with Conley and Peyton Tolley because they see the vision having Roman now signed on for the next almost decade? Campbell, if he can figure it out, he'll be signed on. We have Meyer for 6 years still on the books. So, like, I can understand that, but at the same time, I don't think that's something they're worried about. So the people talking about service time, I think it's just something I don't think needs to be mentioned. The hope is that both these guys will be in the majors by the end of the year, and I think that's the expectation. Like, I can't see a September where both these guys aren't having pivotal roles, either in the bullpen or in the rotation, one way or another, unless they're injured. I hopefully, knock on wood, that doesn't happen. But I'm not dismantled by the fact that maybe they start off in the minor leagues. But I do think they both deserve major league time. It's just more or less, if they were position players, man, they'd be up right away. But we have a lot of good pitchers, and the only spot for them is in the bullpen. The Red Sox have said they don't see either of these guys in bullpen roles. So in that case scenario, they're both going to start down there because you're not going to put either of them up there, and that just limits the options.
Yeah, I think Tolley fits more of the bullpen role than Early does, but it doesn't. That's not me saying I think he should be the bullpen or a bullpen piece. Like, if they fail to go out and acquire another left-handed reliever in any way this offseason for the Red Sox, and they have to fall on Tolley, and they're confident in his abilities coming out of the pen, giving you 2, maybe 3, 4 innings if it absolutely needs to happen in one of those situations where you have to pull the starter early or something like that may take place, that wouldn't be too bad. But again, it's just how much trust are they going to have in his ability to command the off-speed stuff and really rely on it? It's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see how it all plays out. I think Early, again, I think we're right about Early. I don't think Early's getting sent down in any capacity. And if they do, it's like 1 second. You keep saying the Oviedo is going to take one of those spots, but even
I really do. They continue to say, and he has looked better as his starts have gone on.
Oh yeah, his last start was phenomenal. His last start, he had 4 Ks and like 2 innings of work. He was really good. So
I did see an interesting note that somebody said we should put Bello down.
Oh man, I'm looking at it now. I'm gonna be so honest with you. In the middle of this conversation, you kept saying Oviedo is going to get that spot. They want to give him that time. I entirely forgot Sonny Gray was on this roster for about the last.
I was wondering. I was like, we have 5 pitchers.
I was like, what? One of them has to be up there for 5, right? Now, yeah, okay, so Sonny Gray's going to be there, all 36 years of him.
Yeah,
can't wait to see how that plays out. So Crochet,
he looked good.
Ranger, he looked good. Crochet, Ranger, Gray, Bello, Oviedo. That's your 5. I don't hate it by any means. The only problem is, like, you have the depth. Like,
that's why you go Crawford, 6. That's why you go 6.
Yes, I'm agreeing with you. I'm 100% agreeing with you. You have Cutter Crawford injured. You have Patrick Sandoval injured. You have Tanner Houck injured. Now,
can we trade Patrick Sandoval? Not to go off tangent, but that guy, he's not going to pitch for the Red Sox. We signed him for no reason.
Pitch last season at the deadline. After the All-Star break, they're like, he's coming back. Oh, cool. He hasn't even put the jersey on.
No, he's not pitching for the Red
Sox. Oh man, and he's another lefty. He's sub 30 years old. Like I don't understand how. That's really intriguing.
Also, random thought: Ernie Clement just took a bat for USA. That's the first time in 3 years he's taken a bat for a USA team, and it's Team USA because he plays for Toronto. But random thought of the day.
I love that.
Yeah, it's the pitching rotation is Crochet, Ranger, Sonny, and then it goes to Bello, Oviedo, and then if you want to go 6, it's Conley for sure. But that's when I've seen Bello not look great thus far.
So I'm gonna propose a question to you, and it's gonna open up a conversation that we could talk about for 2 days. But I just want your expert opinion on this. As this Red Sox rotation is currently what's the word I'm looking for? Is currently set with the 5 guys we've just addressed. You have Bello. I have a feeling that we feel the same way about Bello. Bello's interesting. He's young. He has good abilities, but what have you done for me lately? What do we expect from you this up and coming year? Let's just play the game of hypothetical. If the Red Sox were going to trade someone like Brayan Bello, how long is the leash? If we're going from right now, March 3rd, and take into account what we've seen in the 2 outings we've seen from him in spring up to this point, how long is that leash in your opinion? Is it like, does he have a lot of leeway? Is it like, dude, if you have an 8-run inning, you're out of here. I don't care if it's your first start. Is it like, how do you feel about Bello? Where, like, on the pendulum, are you far one side? Are you far the other? Are you neutral?
If he's facing the Yankees, he's the best pitcher on planet Earth. Anybody else, he's mid. And that's the problem at hand, is that you don't get to face the Yankees. You know, your 20 starts are not all going to be in New York against Aaron Judge's, horrible striking out butt. Like, that's not going to work. So I look at this from an outside perspective and try to take the Red Sox bias out of it, because I feel like we've been looking at Bello as like, this guy got an opening day rotational spot for us. He was the starter on opening day in Fenway Park 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, if we try and take that out of our mindset, I think there's one of two ways to look. One is that you look at him differently and like, oh, he's not supposed to be that. He's supposed to be a 4. And he's a dang good 4 if he works that way.
Yes.
And that's a perfect way. There's also the other way of like, okay, the contract's great.
Yeah.
We have depth.
Yeah.
We could move you for a very good player.
Yes.
The question becomes this. Are the Red Sox going to do another June trade? Because they're not going to trade anything until the regular season at this point. I'm pretty confident the only thing they could do is sign Denny Cola. That's the only thing that I could see them doing. And the only thing that they should do, to be honest. However, you get to June, D-backs open up the conversation again for Ketel Marte. Marcelo's not doing what it is. That becomes a much more interesting thing for me. And if does Marcelo get put on back on the table? Like, I think that I am not willing to let go of Bello yet because the contract is so nice. And we are not expecting him to be amazing. He's the best 4 in baseball if he plays like he did last year. Like, legitimately, Brayan Bello is the best 4 in all of baseball if he pitches like he did last year with a 3.35 ERA. But that was last year. The prior 2 years was a 4.2, 4.5 ERA. Jumped up a whole earned run. It really, to me, is a leash of, we might send you down / give your slot to somebody else / run a 6-man more than we're going to drop you. Or we're gonna just say, hey, we're trading you. So I'd say I'm more neutral than anything else. However, I lean towards not giving him up because I feel as though at 26 years old, for the contract he has, for his ability to kick down the door of Yankee Stadium and go in and tell Babe Ruth to just knock it off, then I think we can limit a lot of it. And he posts 29 games last year. You didn't get that from most people. It was him and Crochet. And so that to me is the biggest thing. So what do you think about it?
I think. Wait, before I tell you what I think, I want to question one thing that you said. You think that there's a better chance he gets sent down than he's traded?
Yes.
Like, you think would.
I truly believe that they would be like,
really
okay,
interesting.
It sounds crazy, but if they weren't going to trade him this all season, I feel like they have faith in him.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it gets sent down just because he stinks. I'm saying it gets sent down because he's doing okay, but they want to try and figure something out and he gets injured or something happens. But I think there's a better shot of him getting sent down this year for a couple weeks, a month or two than traded. I really do.
Oh man, that's just so interesting to think about. I didn't really think about it in that sense. I was just thinking whether or not he's going to be traded. I don't know. Like, at this point, if they were to do it in this past offseason, like you mentioned, and Ketel Marte was involved in that conversation, or possibly a Seattle Mariners pitcher, if there was looking to be a swap made for one for the other, because they're comparable. Obviously, the name of a George Kirby or XYZ, Bryce Miller, blah, 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 Brian Wu. Those guys have the bigger name, if you will, than a Brayan Bello, and that makes sense. But when you look at, like, Bello could fit in anywhere, really, whether he's a 2, 3, or a 4, even a 5. And like you mentioned, he's going to be very good at a 4 or 5 position of starting rotation for any big league team. if the Red Sox were going to move him, they would have to get something along the lines of a Ketel Marte or of what just a big name, a important, impactful bat that is going to really push the needle. And I don't think the Red Sox are going to do that, make a trade like that, unless they are going to get blown away. A lot along the lines of what we saw with Jarren Duran and Wilyer Abreu when Breslow was like, listen, they're on the team. I love them on this team. I love those guys. And they're not going to leave the Red Sox under my command in the sense of a trade unless you call me and you literally knock my shoes off in the trade offer.
I think
and that
also
makes
if
sense.
he does get put down, it does probably say that they're not going to trade him at all because that immediately takes his trade value horribly down.
Yes, and it also just looks like, hey, we have enough confidence in him. We know you're not performing at this level, so we're sending you down. You're going to work on things, and you're going to get better, and at least back to the level in which we all saw last year, if not the year prior. And we're going to go from there. But until you figure it out, I can see how that can take place, but I feel like the time to trade him has passed.
Correct.
In all honesty,
just to put this out there, I think Bayo's going to pitch the same way he did last year. He maybe hasn't been looked amazing in spring training, but the statistics are still the same. The underlying statistics of the way he's using his pitches, the velo, the break, the curve, all that stuff, pretty similar stuff. I think what we saw from Bello last year was a transition. Because in prior years, we all could agree that Bello got really tight in stressful situations. Really tight. And it hurt him. It hurt him. Because when when errors happened, he was frustrated and it limited his abilities. Last year, he changed that to the nth degree where he almost wanted high pressure situations. That's why he performed even better at Yankee Stadium last year than he did in past, because that was a rivalry again this year, for the first time in a while. He performed to that level. So, to my eyes, the underlying statistics look the same. He is testing things out right now. That changeup is getting talked about by Sonny Gray as the best changeup in baseball. Pedro Martinez was there yesterday talking to Bello about certain ways that he was throwing his changeup. I like a lot of what Bello brings, and that is specifically why I don't think either have. I don't think he gets sent out. I don't think he gets traded. I think he pitches a 3 ERA this year as the number 4 and is the best 4 in baseball. Like I really do. But
yeah.
I just more or less, if he starts to struggle in any form or facet and Conley Early has a 0 ERA in AAA, then I would see them just moving Bello down for a week, bringing Conley up, and then going from there. So, and that could hurt the confidence of Bello. It could, but I don't see either of that happening in a lot of ways. So,
I'm looking at a Savant page. I pulled it up while you were given that answer. The underlying metrics are eerie similar from year to year. The only thing... It's actually hilarious. If you look at the ground ball percentage, first year was 2022. He had 93 percentile. 23, 92 percentile. 24, 86 percentile. And then last year, 86 percentile in 24, 84 percentile in 25. He knows how to create that weakish contact, and if it's not weak, it's on the ground regardless. It's all on the ground, and I can say confidently, and I'm so happy I can say this year's Red Sox team is going to be better defensively than they were last year.
Finally.
Finally. Because you've heard, you and I have had this conversation a lot. If we have to watch, as Red Sox fans and supporters, if we have to watch that defensive effort for the second consecutive year, it's going to... I'm going to lose my mind. But with Wilson at first, and he's going to be there a lot, I think that's going to be great. With Story at short, I think that's going to be great. Durbin at third or second, I think that is going to be great. The outfield doesn't even need to be questioned. You have, say, Don in center. You're going to have Jarren in left or right. You have Roman or Wilyer in whatever position Jarren's not playing. And it's going to work out very well. And I think the defense is going to be better, which is going to benefit Brayan Bello so much, because we all know, creates so many opportunities to make good defensive plays for the defense playing behind him. And if that defense looks better, he'll look better. And I do agree. I think he's going to pitch right around that 3 ERA. I think that's very appropriate, especially in the sense that he's going to be a number 4, possibly even a number 5 guy, depending on how things play out early in the season. And I'm excited for how it all plays out. And I think we agree in the sense that if you were going to trade him, that time has already passed.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Bearing some like just otherworldly blockbuster
Cattell
move made
Marte
at the
for
deadline.
Bello. Straight up.
At the deadline, at like at 2:59, we get the breaking news from.
You know, the
Fox
time
on
that we got
MLB, or MLB on
Joe
Fox.
Ryan and Dustin May, you know, those 2 times, you know, Joe Ryan almost got him. That's the time we would trade Brayan Bello away. That's the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see him being traded. One final thing before we get to WBC talk and kind of run it out. Campbell, he's not performing in spring training. He didn't perform last year, to be fair. He's performing better than he did last year, if that has any solace. Exactly. It was horrible. I don't even want to. I tried to erase that from my mind, and you just brought back painful memories of being so excited to watch him in spring training, and then just seeing that. So, but what's the hope going forward? There's no spots for him in the outfield within the next year or two, unless they do move Duran. There's not really a spot in the infield in the next year or two until Marcelo goes to short and Story is done with his contract. But even then, do they even want him to play second? If Romy Gonzalez comes back and is performing like he was last year, that's his second base spot to live over the next 3 years. So the day goes by, and I love Kristian Campbell, and I want him to be here, but every day that he cannot perform and just looks okay is a day where I'm like, man, are we just going to trade him?
So this has always been the most interesting like conversation between you and I, in my opinion, because I'm very high on Meyer, you're very high on Campbell, and I feel like, and it's like kind of flopped. I'm like on Campbell, you're like on Meyer, and then it's like it's funny, but I think he's the number one piece that could be traded this year.
Yeah. Like
out of the entire roster. I know there's conversations about Duran. I know there's conversations about Willier and this guy and that guy and whoever. We just talked about Bello possibly getting traded. I think the number one likelihood of someone getting traded on this team, it's 100% Campbell. He's young. He's still considered a prospect. He's played up in the major league level already, even though you could argue that seems like it was a bit rushed, especially with the context of that situation. Hey, you've played left field your whole career. Let's play second. Okay, I'll play second. You get an opening day start at second base. You play there for a month. You're back down on AAA. You get called back up. Team. And it could happen this year. You just have to perform. If he steps in the batter's box and he turns into an absolute problem offensively, he could start at second base a lot this year. Because outside of the platoon options, when Romy comes back, you have Meyer, but Meyer's only played in freaking two games this spring or 3 games this spring. It's the most infuriating thing in the world. I want to see him play every single day. I want to see him get those reps in and prove that, hey, I can do this, or hey, I don't have it. And you guys were right. You guys were good not to give me the whatever to bring me up and put me in this position to play every day. And because I didn't, he hasn't performed yet. I understand that. But if Campbell can go out there and he can perform, and I know the spring is spring and we want you to be hot going in October rather than getting hot in March before the season even starts. I understand that. But you got to go out there and you got to prove it. You got to at least give him the idea that, hey, this guy deserves that second opportunity. And when you get it, you have to make good with it. And until he does that, I'm voting on him being moved, possibly for even more pitching, because you can't go wrong with more pitching. Having depth at that, whether it's starting or relief, it's always good to have. And I think I'm leaning closer to him being traded, but it's going to be hard to watch him go because he's a very good young prospect with a lot of flexibility and a lot of availability.
Yeah, it's tough. I was so high on him last year. I was thinking he was going to be the next second baseman for the Red Sox. We haven't had one since Dustin Pedroia, and I'm just like, please, please be that.
Please give us something.
And it wasn't, and the defense was there. But you're right. I mean, Marcelo cannot play against lefties right now. Point blank. He is the best thing he has. He's a righty hitter, and the Red Sox don't have a lot of those, which is normal for the Red Sox, but it's just the way it is. If he can somehow find a way to get hot, produce, even just get on the roster in some facet at some time this year, and when he gets up to the major leagues and gets his chance to produce, then we can have a different conversation. But I think you're right. And until we see him in the majors producing, or a shot appears, then I don't know if trade him. I think trading is the most likely option. However, I will say I think there is one last chance for him in the majors. Like, even if he is not good in the minors, even if he's batting 260 in the minors, I think there's a world where he just gets put up in the majors to play second base because this guy's hurt or that guy's hurt, or he goes to the outfield for a game because they cut Masa and then they got 5 injuries right off the back of it, and he plays and he performs well. And that could easily change it. But unless that does work in the right way, I don't really see that working out.
Jace, let's think about it. Honestly, he might be the best platoon option for the Red Sox.
Oh, for sure.
Like, if the kid could hit outside of tomahawking the top of the zone to right center, listen, I love it when you can get a good tomahawk swing off and you can hit it a country mile. It's one of the greatest things to watch in baseball because it's honestly a bit funny the way it looks and if you know what you're looking at. But we've had this conversation through messages and on this when we do these lives. He loves to hit the ball to the opposite field, and he can't pull the ball in the air. And we watched Kristian Campbell. We watched Rafael do this last year. There was a 10-game stretch where everyone was talking about he can't pull the ball in the air, and then all he did was pull the ball in the air, and everyone was like, well, he might make a run at the MVP because he can't miss in center.
The 10-game stretch before the All-Star break. Never forget it.
Yeah. He was hitting like 300. He was hitting for pop. He was walking games off in Fenway Greens, and then he was the best defensive center fielder in the game. They're like,
Platinum glove MVP, give it all to him.
Yeah, like let's have a 2018 Mookie Betts year. Like run out of accolades and trophies to give him. But like Campbell could, if the dude could hit. Just think about it. He can play left. He can play center. He can play right. He can play second base. Now he can play first base. He can play 5 legitimate positions, and at this rate, he might be able to play short and third by the time the season ends. Like, there's no other better platoon option. He can play 6 positions. He can play 5 positions, and he's not a liability defensively. If the kid could hit, this conversation wouldn't even be happening. Like, he would be a starter somewhere, or at least literally a first option coming off the bench as a righty. But as of now, it's just really hard to make an argument for him when he can't perform at the plate.
It is. All right, let's round off the show with WBC players. I want to try a fun exercise. You followed a lot, so I'm gonna give you the test. Can you name every single Red Sox that is playing in the WBC this year?
Ooh, this is good. Rafael is playing. I couldn't tell you the team though.
Netherlands.
He had a 3-run. Netherlands.
He had a 3-run. Xander. Him and Xander are playing together.
Yeah, he had a 3-run shot. There's actually a lot of stories that he was really excited to play with Bogarts.
Mm-hmm.
So Rafael is playing for the Netherlands, like you said. Roman is playing for Team USA. I almost made a mistake. I almost said somebody's name on USA. It's not on the Red Sox anymore.
Alex Bregman.
I was right. Yeah, Bregman. So Roman's playing for Team USA. Jarren Duran is playing for Mexico. Willier is playing for his country. Who's he playing? Not Venezuela.
Yes,
Venezuela. He's playing.
Venezuela.
Willier's playing for Venezuela. Whitlock is pitching for Team USA. I don't think Chapman's throwing. Is Chapman throwing?
No, he applied for Great Britain and they declined him because he wasn't a citizen enough or whatever. It was very hilarious. It was like, Great Britain, you realize he's your only shot to do anything. Why are you declining this?
It's so funny. He'd be like he'd be the number 1 starter for them.
Oh, he would pitch 3 innings and I'd hate it, but he would.
Jarren's playing. I already said that. How many am I at? Jarren, Roman,
You've
Cedon,
got Jarren, Roman,
Whitlock.
Cedon, Willier, Whitlock.
That's 5. There's like 8 of them, isn't there?
You are missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 guys that I know of. There are other guys that are on this list that I don't know. I'll tell you this. Jack Anderson is playing for Great Britain. He's in the Red Sox organization. Tehran Guerrero for Colombia will be playing. And then Eduardo Rivera will play for Puerto Rico. So besides that, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is Narvi
5.
playing?
No, Narvi's not playing.
I've named the whole outfield.
They're all in it. You've got that.
I've named the whole outfield. They're playing. Yeah, and we're talking
Actually,
about
you missed an
Masa's-
outfielder. There it
Masa's
is.
playing for Japan.
I was
Yeah.
like, you missed
I was
an
like,
outfielder.
It's so funny. I said I've named all the outfielders. I started thinking the conversation about Masa earlier. I was like, and people are trying to figure out why he's not playing. Like, geez,
Why is he not
no
playing? It's
outfield
because
is
he's in Japan.
stud. So you have Jarren, you have Roman, you have Willier, you have Masa, you have Whitlock, you have. This is crazy, dude. This team is stacked. Story's not playing. Chapman's not playing. Narvi's not playing. Say Don, I got at 6. Holy crap, dude!
Okay.
Yeah? Help me out here. I
Pitcher?
remember seeing the
There's
list.
2
but
pitchers, or sorry, 3 pitchers, 2 of which are starters.
Rangers playing.
Rangers playing for Venezuela.
Oh yeah, and Bello's pitching as well. Bello's
Bayo's
pitching as well.
for the DR.
Yeah.
So there's your 2
All right,
pitchers.
that's 8.
A newly acquired person is also playing for Venezuela. That we got this all season.
Oh, Wilson.
Yeah,
Contreras.
he's playing for
Wilson
Venezuela.
Contreras.
And then a certain lefty pitcher in the bullpen. Not Chapman.
Oh, Moran.
Yeah, Giovanni Moran is playing for Puerto Rico. And then there
Okay.
is a utility player and a relief pitcher. One of which playing for Great Britain, one of which playing for Italy. Very fast guy. Utility player.
Oh, I wasn't even. I was kind of stuck on the relief pitcher. I'm trying to think who would that be. But for Italy is the utility guy. It's not Eaton.
Great
Nate,
Britain's
Nate.
Great Britain is Nate Eaton.
Oh, it isn't.
Yeah,
Is it?
that's Nate Eaton. And then
Okay,
Italy
cool.
is the pitcher. And he's the last
I've
one you got here.
I don't think I have any idea. Italy relief pitcher for Boston. It's not Weiser. No,
Greg Weissert.
it is.
Yeah, it's Greg Weissert. That is
Dude,
the
we're
WCs.
loaded, man. The Red Sox are stacked.
Yeah,
man.
you have Roman for United States, Jarren for Mexico, Sedan for Netherlands, Willier for Venezuela, Whitlock for USA, Bello for DR, Masa for Japan, Wilson for Venezuela, Ranger Suarez for Venezuela, Jack Anderson and Nate Eaton for Great Britain, Teran Guerrero for Colombia, Greg Weissert for Italy, Giovanni Moran and Eduardo Rivera for Puerto Rico.
That's awesome, dude.
Those are the guys that are playing for us.
And the best part is Crochet could have been the number.
Oh, Crochet
3
could
guy.
have been the number. You would have been the number 2.
That's what I just think about it though. You have Skeens, you have Scooble, and you have Crochet. Who's gonna pitch one? Who's pitching? Dude, you couldn't pay me to do that job. I feel like you guys could like pull straws, and whoever wants it can take the first.
I'm giving
spot.
Tariq one, and then play rock paper scissors, Paul and Garrett, and Garrett.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, he's
that
got we got a Garrett on the roster with the Team USA. His name is just Whitlock.
We
not,
do.
not Crochet.
Yep.
I just hope
arguably.
Whitlock might pitch as a starting role. To be honest, with the way he's gonna be needed in the freaking tournament play.
They have a lot of faith in Noah McLean.
Yeah, but didn't he get like vertigo?
They said that if he is available, he will pitch in the final.
Okay, good. Well,
I was like, okay, so his first start will be against in the championship game. Yeah.
guess where he went to college?
Oh, sick.
Oklahoma State. I watched
That's
him pitch. Oh, okay. I watched him play third. He wasn't a pitcher for Oklahoma State until I was gone.
That's awesome.
He was a third baseman who hit 100-mile-an-hour nukes. I thought he was
Yeah.
going to be Shohei because he throws 100 miles an hour and his exit below is 100 miles an hour. He's going to be the
His
first one
breaking stuff is so he reminds me a lot of Maddox in the sense that the two seam specifically is
You're disgusting.
just filthy.
Yeah.
He should
Especially
be.
when you add
I
in the
don't know.
fastball. Mhm.
Yes.
Well, he was supposed to
I
be a
don't-
closer. Like, he was our closer at Oklahoma State. He would come in and shut down the door.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
It's wild.
He should be at the top of the rookie of the year conversation. I don't know
agree.
what the odds are currently, but he definitely should be up there because
He
of what we saw
is
last year.
in the NL, though, so there is a
Yeah.
certain Connor Griffin who might want to
Yeah,
take
no,
that.
he better be starting day one because they'll sell tickets.
He better.
They will
better.
sell tickets.
All right, any final thoughts, Houston, as we get out of here?
USA is up 13-1 in the top of the eighth.
Yeah, we're out hitting Giants 15-1 or 15-4.
Roman hit a 2-run shot. It was beautiful.
If only we signed Alex, we would have the 2 home runs in this game.
Yeah, that is true. I don't even know who's batting right now.
They don't
It
even have a
looks
number
like-
on a back. He doesn't have an. We were doing the show and I looked over. There was a guy who scored without a number on his back, and I'm like, who?
Yeah, the relief guy. He kind of looks like James Wood. If James Wood lost a little bit of weight.
Yeah. Isn't James Wood playing for USA? I thought he was. I don't know. I don't think that's James Wood though.
No, I don't think it's James Wood either. But
I had it up. I had the game.
I have no idea who that is.
MLB.com. Game day. Batting right now is Bandura.
Scott Bandura.
He was a round 7 pick out of Princeton, and he plays for the Giants. Funny enough.
Dakota Jordan is the guy who hit before him, and his picture on Real Sports app is a Mississippi State hat.
Well, there also, please tell me who number 14 is. Charlie SZYKOWNY. Please tell me. I feel like the old SNL skit from Chance the Rapper. Yeah, that's an S, a K, and a J next to each other. That's a no from me.
That's a no. That's a no from me. That's so good. That's so good. Yeah, so the reserves are in right now for Team USA. Look for them to dominate. Boston takes
Killian
on Puerto
Murphy's
Rico. Yeah, right. Boston takes on Puerto Rico tonight at 6:05 Eastern Standard Time. Jake Bennett is on the mound for the Red Sox. Campbell is starting
Prospect
in
Jake
that
Bennett.
game. So is Marcelo Meyer. So you're going to see a lot with all these guys out at WBC. You're going to see a lot of these guys actually get a lot of reps that we were hoping to actually see. So thank God. Jake Bennett will be pitching. He was acquired in that Washington trade early in the offseason, so that'll be very interesting. I hope he performs. He looked good in his last start. He didn't get a lot of reps, though. Go ahead. See how it plays
You can
out.
also watch Giovanni Moran and Eduardo Rivera, who are Red Sox players on Puerto Rico.
Yeah. It's gonna be really interesting to see how that plays out, because Boston is gonna have quality names that are fighting for spots, and they're going to be going up against a very talented team in Puerto Rico. So hopefully they go out
Chance
there
for
and
them to
give it a
prove their
good
worth.
shot. Yeah, and literally do exactly that. Go out there and perform against big name talent, and hold it down while the big guys are out at WBC, as in Roman and Whitlock and the other names.
Yeah, our entire outfield. So
The
congratulations,
entire
Kristian Campbell.
outfield.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Kristian,
yeah,
playing every day.
Jarren Duran, what time does Mexico play?
He went
Mexico-
0-3 with a strikeout. He got pinch hit
no.
for already. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, they're up 5-3 against
Yeah.
Arizona.
He went
Ground out.
0-3.
Strikeout. He hit a pop up, 90 exit velo. Yeah, he didn't have a great day.
No,
Who'd they have on the mound? Was it Gallon?
it was Gallen. I was about to say, at
Yeah.
least it was against a good pitcher.
Yeah, it wasn't an
Did
electrician.
what was his contract that he returned to Diamondbacks? I didn't realize he was back. Was it a 1-year deal?
It just happened. It just happened in the last last
I
few
didn't-
days.
that's what I was like. I thought he was a free agent last time we talked. So that's why when I looked at Mexico, I was like, wait a minute, what?
I'll tell you right now, it was a 1 year, $22 million contract, but what? 1 year, $22 million, but it's $16 million this year, and he has 3 years of deferred payments.
That's weird.
And he's an unrestricted free agent after this year.
So he just signed a 1-year deal.
Yeah, 1 year, $22 million deal, but he has 3 years of deferred money.
Weird.
That's interesting.
All right. Well, I guess that does it.
Yep. It was a pleasure.
Well, yeah, pleasure as always. Appreciate everybody watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.
Peace.
City lights burn like fire in the dark. Fenway roars loud, spark.